27, 27, on up. Here we go, on the road. 27, 27, on up.
You are listening to Voices from the Diaspora.
Hello and welcome to today's program. This is a special program on Sierra Leone's youth. I will be hosting your program today. My name is Leslie Karoma. I'll be hosting the panel discussion today. But before the panel discussion, we have three special interviews that we will be presenting you today. One is with the Commissioner of Youth in Sierra Leone, Mr. Anthony Karoma, and that interview will be brought to you by Mr. Saidu KCC. And the second interview will be with Miss Vicky Remo, who's what I'll call a social entrepreneur. And that interview will be brought to you by Miss Kadi Mansouri, our resident host with the Voices from the Diaspora team. And that will be followed by a special interview that was done by a new member of Voices from the Diaspora team, Mr. Milton Magai, with a young lady by the name of Sienna, who talks about Sierra Leone and the pride of being a Sierra Leonean. So sit tight and hang on. Here comes the first interview with Mr. Saidu KCC and Mr. Anthony Karoma.
Good day, listeners, and welcome to Voices from the Diaspora radio project. As usual, every week we have our programs that include, importantly, interviews with prominent or hard-working Sierra Leoneans, both at home and abroad. For this week, one of the interviews we'll be conducting is with a gentleman who's been a doyen as far as dealing with youth in the country is concerned. He's been working with youth for more than 2 decades. His life after graduating from university has been nothing but working with youth. And as such, it came as little surprise to most Sierra Leoneans when he was appointed as the Commissioner of the National Youth Commission, a department that was set up by an Act of Parliament in 2009. He was appointed as Commissioner in 2011. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here talking about Mr. Anthony Karoma, the Commissioner of the National Youth Commission of Sierra Leone. Good evening and welcome to the interview, Mr. Anthony Karoma.
Good evening, Mr. C, and thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Mr. Karoma, what will you say have been the achievements of the National Youth Commission since it started its operation in earnest?
Well, the National Youth Commission was established by, like you said, an Act of Parliament, Act number 11 of 2009, in December 2009. And it actually became operational in July 2011 when I myself and my deputy and the board members were appointed and constituted. But the commission came about as a result of recommendations by the Truth and Reconciliation Commission in the section dealing with youth and the issues that were identified in that report as responsible for the involvement of young people during the war, based on the fact that they had very little means of expressing their grievances, and the system was not very friendly for them, and they thought there should be an institutional arrangement that can serve as a medium to advocate and to serve as a voice for young people and to be able to inform and advise government in terms of policies and programs that should be put in place to address youth issues. So in 2008, during a Bumbuna presidential retreat in Bumbuna, the government of Sierra Leone took a decision that the commission should be established, and that decision was, of course, endorsed by His Excellency the President of Nkrumah. So it's on the basis of that. The aim and the thrust of the commission is actually to promote youth potential, creativity, talent, towards national development, how we can galvanize and mobilize the potentials of our young people to be able to contribute to the development of the country. To trust, we're looking at the commission is supposed to look at issues relating to employment, coordination between and among government agencies, because the resources are lodged with other agencies, agricultural resources, with the Ministry of Agriculture, Education, with the Ministry of Education, but youth issues are crop-causing. And so the commission is tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that all those ministries and those government agencies have youth-friendly programs and policies that can promote the development of our young people. The commission also looks at issues relating to drug abuse, education, technical vocational education for our young people, coordination with other structures. There are structures in the Act that were recommended. One, the District Youth Council, as a medium to enhance youth participation in governance and decision-making from the chiefdom level to the district level, using the local council structure on the basis of the decentralization policy. So we are establishing these councils all over the country, and we are linking them to the local councils, because as at now, government provides some resources to the local councils. There might not be enough resources, but there are resources that go to the local council for youth development issues. And the District Youth Council and committees set up by this council, known as the District Youth Advisory Councils, that also involves stakeholders, NGOs, traditional authorities and other people in the security sector, to be able to discuss, including the youth themselves, to be able to discuss issues that affect young people within their district, and then advise the National Youth Commission. On a broader scale, we are implementing, for instance, the Youth Employment Support Project funded by the World Bank that targets about 9,000 young people in skills development, and another 16,000 as short-term cash for work project beneficiaries implemented by NACSA, that component. We're also working with the UNDP in implementing the Youth Employment and Empowerment Project that focuses on business development services for young people who are in the private sector. Mind you, the formal sector employs less than 15%. Most of the young people are employed in the informal sector, either in small businesses or in private businesses or family businesses. So we are looking at how to be able to develop them. For instance, the Okada riders, who about 150,000 young people are involved in bike riding business, transportation. We call them here Okada riders. And how can we help them to perfect what they are doing so that they will think business and be able to look at this as employment and not just temporary. So we have a development center in Freetown, Waterloo, Makenibo, and Kenema. We also have what we call career advisory and placement services centers in the University of Sierra Leone, Trabe College, sponsored by the UNDP under this project, and Njala University at the Makonde, Njala, sponsored again by UNDP. We're also, in fact, almost finalizing 3 more CAP centers at the Northern Polytechnic in Makeni, the Bo campus of Njala University, and the Eastern Polytechnic in Kenema. So, but like I said, on a broader context, we are looking at the establishment of, under the Agenda for Prosperity, looking forward now, the Poverty Reduction Strategy Paper 3, otherwise known as the Agenda for Prosperity, which is almost finalized now. We are looking at flagship projects like establishment of a Youth Development Trust Fund that will be used to fund youth projects, community-driven projects, skills development projects, projects relating to young people in business, in the entertainment sector, in the agri sector. We're also looking at the establishment of a National Youth Service in Sierra Leone. We've done preliminary framework studies. We have a report on that, and the government is willing and ready to support that for university students, because now the difference now is we are moving from a situation where you have unemployment basically dominated by unskilled and untrained young people. Now, because of the investment in the education sector and because of the stability, we have more young people now graduating from the university, from the colleges, from technical vocational institutions, thousands of them. So graduate unemployment is becoming a bigger challenge. So we are looking at the National Youth Service. We are piloting a program called the Graduate Internship Program. We placed about 150 students last October to December. We are looking at how we can have support from other agencies, government, to establish, even if in a pilot phase, a National Youth Service of Sierra Leone. We are looking at how to promote the technical vocational education training. The Ministry of Education is now partnering with private sector institutions like Africa Minerals. We see GIZ partnering with London Mining for a technical vocational innovation to the project to be able to upgrade the skills of young people, those who've already graduated with some skills but needed additional upgrade to be able to reach and match the standard of the employers, especially the mining companies. So a lot of initiatives on the ground. There are key challenges in terms of handling young people's exuberance and youthfulness, especially in areas of entertainment, in sports, for instance, in music industry. There can be excesses by our young people, and but we are all working together with stakeholders, organizations, the police, Sierra Leone police, and other stakeholders in ensuring that, of course, the Ministry of Education and other academic institutions to be able to address the issue of young people when they cluster and having entertainment of sports activities, the issue of lawlessness and indiscipline. That's a big challenge. But unemployment remains a big challenge for young people. Access to jobs and finances in the private sector is a challenge, and we hope that we will continue to work as a commission with the new Ministry of Youth Affairs just been established. So with that, again, it's a step forward to be able to ensure that youth issues are handled at the highest political level with concentration and focus, because we need that. This is a transition. 79% of our population in Sierra Leone are below the age of 40. So that's a huge challenge. You have a youthful population, and that means it presents an opportunity for the future if we properly harness in terms of programming, in terms of collective diaspora. Of course, that's another dimension that we think that we should be having programs to encourage young people in the diaspora to also come and exchange ideas with young people in Sierra Leone. Some of it is happening, but we want to scale it up and ensure that the young people in Sierra Leone, they benefit from this kind of new opening, this stability, this development, this expected economic boom because of the fact that there are discoveries of new minerals. It will take some time, but even if it has to happen the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 15 years or 20 years, it is time now for us to prepare our young people to face the challenges that they should face now and prepare for themselves to benefit from the economic development this country is envisaging. In 2012, Sierra Leone was actually the fastest growing economy in Africa, and we hope that that will continue in the foreseeable future, and that will also present opportunities for the young people of Sierra Leone, both those in Sierra Leone and those out in the diaspora, to be able to take responsibility for the running of this country and to benefit from the resources and the minerals that we have.
Thank you for that insightful expose, Mr. Koroma. I think I'll just ask one more question. How transparent and accountable is this commission? Because we've read in so many social media, as you know, these days the social media control the world. We've read in social media about lack of transparency and accountability. How transparent and accountable is the National Youth Commission?